So welcome to It Starts With Mom Live. At the March Times, we fight for the health of moms and babies every single day. And I'm just so thrilled to be with, I guess, one of my sheroes, one of my idols for a long time, a woman who's a mom, a singer, an actress, an author. I mean, she does it all. And we're so excited to have this conversation today with Kelly Rowland. So Kelly, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. I'm delighted to be here.
You know, it's really great to be able to have this conversation that a lot of moms are already having with each other and their friends, especially working moms who've been trying so much and so hard to
Mhm.
deal with the challenges of the pandemic, trying to work and trying to balance home and virtual learning and still keep it all going. And it's been really, really challenging for a lot of us. Don't you think, Kelly?
Absolutely. I think that, between COVID coming and us all going through that and then figuring it out along the way. And now we're in this space again to where we are out and everybody's going back to work. I know all you moms out there going back to work. And it's just like, oh my goodness, this is crazy, and trying to figure it out and juggle it all. I think that we are extraordinary because I feel like we learn how to do it every day.
Yeah.
People always ask women that, well, how do you do it? And it's because we're so great at being moms and we try to figure it out as much and as possible as we can. But we also try to do it with grace.
Yeah.
We try to do it with love above anything, and we try to lead with love and grace. And we're smart, and we figure it out as we're going. And I think that that's what makes us so extraordinary, as my mother would say. She says that's what makes women extraordinary, is that we're capable to figure it all out at the snap of your fingers. So yeah.
Yes, absolutely. And
Yeah.
I agree with you on everything. I mean, women are amazing and moms are amazing. And, we have to balance a lot of things,
Absolutely.
even without asking for help all the time.
Yeah.
We're shouldering a lot of stress and responsibilities and just trying to power through. And while that's all great, it does come at a cost. In fact, one of the things that we've seen through the pandemic, especially with maternal mental health, is that we've seen a extraordinary jump in the number of women who have been able to say that they're having mental health challenges. And thank goodness we're getting hopefully to a better place where we can be talking about mental health in ways that are more helpful to women, where we don't stigmatize that as much as it has been in our past.
Mhm.
And that for all of us, even if you're not a mom, we all have experienced big challenges through this pandemic, but it's especially true for moms. And so that's why it's so important at the March of Dimes that we make sure that moms have all these resources available, both
Yeah.
to sort of help with their physical health and their mental health. Because to your point, it is a balance and it's a journey, and we're not always going to get it right. But we
Yeah.
also don't all need to feel alone in that journey, and we need a
No.
lot of help from each other and from wherever we can get that help, right?
Absolutely. I heard a friend of mine say a couple of weeks ago, she was inside a grocery store and she felt this mom. She had her two kids with her, and one kid wanted to go back to the car and the other kid was trying to like go to the toy section. And
Right.
she said, I kind of followed her. She was like, I didn't want to be creepy, but I kind of followed her to see if she would need help. She said, so she kind of trailed her around the store and she was, of course, stayed back. She said, but it was a moment where I felt like she was having a moment and her cup was full. She said, and I walked right over and she was like, she said she just started talking to one of the kids. And one of the kids just stayed right there and she just looked at the woman and she said the woman's eyes filled with tears. It was almost like she just came through at the right time. I think that what we have to remember as moms is we all need help, like just like you said, but also to give ourselves grace. I think even like when I was I just had Titan, and I think I was a year and a half in, and I wanted to do everything perfect. And I was so happy. The same girlfriend looked at me, she goes, you're gonna mess up, right? I was like, dang, like, why would you say that? She was like, because I just want you to understand, like, you're not going to get everything right. And that's okay, because that's a part of making mistakes. Like, I mean, that's a part of getting better as a mom. It's
Yes.
like you learn as you go, and you have to give yourself grace.
Yeah.
And that kind of like expectation that you put on yourself, you don't realize that you could be doing that to your kid later too. So
Right.
you just want to like give yourself time to just like, okay, this is duly noted. I will just make sure I do this instead of this. This works in my time, or this works at my pace. Everything has to be able to play in your court. You know what I mean? And I think like when you know you can venture out and like do more things, or I think that it's important to just know where you are mentally. Everything is just, it's important for you. No one's going to look out for you like you.
That's exactly right. And, I think that's one of the reasons we put together this whole effort around It Starts with Mom, is because we know that moms are really resourceful, right? Always looking for answers to questions that come up. And we wanted It Starts with Mom to be that place where certainly you can ask your mom, you can ask a friend, you can ask an aunt, you can ask others to get for advice. And how'd you deal with this? And what happens when what do you do when this happens? But it's also nice that if you to have a sort of trusted place you can go, and that's what the March of Dimes has tried to do with It Starts with Mom. We hope it's a real resource for women and for moms, because especially as a first time mom, like you were when you first had Titan. He's 6 years old now. I understand, but I mean, probably even now you're still incorporating new ideas into
Yes.
motherhood, and
Yes.
looking for answers to things. And I'm sure there were some first time things that you experienced that you probably would love to share with moms based on your own
Mhm.
experience.
Absolutely. I mean, the first time I took him out, the first time, he was having a tantrum, and I was like, well, what do I do? Because I want to allow him the space for emotions, but I don't want him to think that this is okay. And it's trying to balance all of that at the same time, and also holding my boundaries. It's a lot to think about when these things are happening. It's trial and error. That's the
Yeah,
truth, is that
yeah,
it's trial and error. Like, but we're figuring it out, and you just try to see what works and what doesn't. Because what's interesting now is a mom of two, and because there's a 6-year difference between Titan and Noah, it's being a mom. I'm a newly birthed mom of two. You know what I mean? So it's like someone said, every time you have a baby, you're a new mom. I was like, well, what do you mean? It's like, well, now you're a mom of two. And then when you have another one, well, now you're a mom of three, and so forth and so forth. So
yes,
it's figuring all of that out. And with all of that is balance. With all of that is trying to figure out where your you time is. Because I am very, very keen on self-care.
absolutely.
Very keen. And I think that when you have a really great support system around you, you're able to have your girlfriends help you out. You help them out too when you
Yeah.
need that self-care time. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Or
absolutely.
it's necessary, because
Right.
then you can pour back into yourself. Because someone told me a long time ago, no one will pour into you best except for you.
Yeah.
Only you know what you need.
Yeah. And when you don't have anything left to give, then
It's
nobody
going to
benefits from
benefit.
that. The whole house does better when mom is doing
Is
great.
happy. That's a fact.
And when mom isn't doing great, nothing is going well. So
It's
that's
true.
absolutely true.
It's
It's so
true.
true.
It's true.
We're looking forward to your fireside chat, your keynote with TV journalist and podcast host Kanika Chadha Gupta. It's going to be so amazing. We love that you are going to be talking about your motherhood journey and all the things that you've experienced, how you create space for your work and your family, and how you are giving back to fellow moms in the community. And today is going to be a celebration of that. So we're so excited about that.
Thank you. I'm excited about it too. You have no idea. No idea.
So I think the best thing to do is to let us all proceed, and it starts with mom.
Absolutely. It starts with mom.
Hi, everyone. I'm Kanika Chadha Gupta. I am a television journalist, podcast host of That's Total Mom Sense, wife, and mom of three. I am having a fangirl moment right now because I am with the beautiful, talented singer songwriter, actress, and author who has grown up right alongside us. She's been singing her whole life, and began her musical career as a founding member of Destiny's Child. And here we are with children of our own. Please allow me to say her name, Kelly Rowland.
Hey, that's a heck of an intro.
Thank you. I'm so
Wow.
happy to be here with you.
Thank you. So happy to be here with you too. You said mom of three. I was like, salute. Like, oh my goodness.
Yes, yes. No, I feel like, moms, we can do it all. We really can do it all. And our hearts are full. We have a full house. So
Yes.
great.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We can do it all. I feel like every day I'm learning how to do it all.
Yeah.
But it's definitely day by day.
Yes. Yes. And I want you to know, Kelly, that, you have fans around the world, but your OG fans are moms because we just understand you on a completely different level now.
P.S. I feel like since we've all grown up together, there's a different way in which we approach motherhood. We try to do it in a very honest and authentic way. And I love watching that. I really, really love watching that. Because I remember when I first had Titan, there was, I had this seatbelt on the wrong way. I'm learning. I didn't know. And someone wrote on my Instagram and they were like, what kind of mother are you? And it was like that kind of like that thing and that behavior that I felt like was not cool because we're learning how to do this thing. I mean, it's a way to, by the way, they were right. But that's not the point. It's the way we communicate to each other. It should always be with grace and it should always be with humility because I've never, or as my mother would say, I ain't never heard of the perfect mama. We're all figuring it out as we go. So when I saw this whole kind of movement of a lot of that, like not necessarily accusatory, but it's just the judgmental side, like that judgmental mom situation that was happening. I'm like, get that out of here. Which probably means when you really think about it and start to break it down, it's like, oh, they're self-critical. You know what I mean? So I'm just thinking that they should probably give themselves grace because, they're expecting everyone else to be perfect. But I'm not perfect. I don't get it right all the time.
No.
I try as much as I can. But, yeah.
As we all know, kids can rock a marriage and so can a pandemic. and I feel like it takes so much love and compromise and sacrifice and devotion to one another and the family. So, what are some of the things that you and Tim learned through these challenging times? And, how has that made both of you stronger?
Communication, self-time.
That's a big one.
Communication, self-time is like really important. Like, sometimes during the pandemic specifically for us, because we're always traveling, we love being around each other, but also allowing each other like space to just is good too, and not taking it personal. But I think that for us, a lot of it is communication and fun times. Like we went to a New Edition concert 2 weeks ago, and we were dancing like we were like in our teens all over again, and enjoying each other's company and just laughing and smiling. And I was like, that is my best friend. Like we have a really good time together. You know what I mean? Yes. But it's important to have those moments all the time. Like a girlfriend of mine said, you should be out on a date night every week. I was like, true. But sometimes we'll be like, oh, well, I'm like, no, we're going to eat. Me and you are going to eat. So, or
just that connection going,
exactly.
Of course.
It's important.
Yeah, it really is. I think that's such great advice to stay connected in a partnership like that. What has your experience been as a working mom?
A learning one. A learning experience because I feel like when I first started to get back out on the road after I had Titan, he was like a couple months old. Every time I got in that car, I was in tears. Every time I got in
Oh,
the car.
oh my God.
So working also allows me space to do the things that I love too. You know what I mean? But here I am with these two little balls of love, and I miss them when I'm away, and they're an extension of me. So that makes it hard, especially now that I have two. It makes it hard. Um, and they don't really talk on the phone as much as I would like them to. They're kids, so they're like,
Right.
no, I was having fun and you're now distracting that. I need you to get off the phone. So
Yes,
that's
yes.
how they are when I'm away. I'm like, well, I think the best part we have is like reading together at night. And it's awesome. So I being a working mom is a lot of sacrifice.
Mhm.
It's also incredible because our kids get to see us fulfill our dreams and do the things that we love, and they get to see hard work. You know what I
Yes.
mean? They get to see that, like I asked Titan one day, he was like, do you have to go to work? I said, baby, this is like hurting me even more than it's hurting you. I was like, but I completely hear you. I tell him when I'm coming back. I tell him when I'm going to call him and everything. I said, but can I tell you one thing? He says, yes, mommy. I said, do you like going on vacation? He says, yes, because that's one of the things he loves. I had to start there. He's like,
Right,
yes. So I said, do you like this house? Yes. Do you like, I said, go open that refrigerator. He went to open the refrigerator. I said, it's full of food. He said, yes. I said, go to your closet. He goes to his closet. I was like, you have shoes, you have clothes. I said, go cut the water on. He cut the water on. I was like, it works. I said, it's
yeah,
nice. It's clear. It's great, right? He's like, yes. I said, that's what mommy and daddy work hard for. Those simple things. I was like,
yes.
I literally just want you to feel comfortable in your space. I want to make sure you have all the necessities. That's it. So he gets it. I haven't had
Mhm.
not one back and forth since that time.
Right. He's ready for the next vacation. He's like, I'm not gonna complain about
He's
it
like, I'm
anymore.
not saying nothing.
No, no, no. Yeah, and I love how you broke it down like that, because I think kids just need some semblance of like how to put it all together and
Mhm.
understand that, we're not trying to be away from them um, for that reason. We're providing, and that's another way that we're showing our love and our care. So
Mhm.
I think they definitely get that. And is that how you would kind of tackle the buzzword mom guilt? Do you feel that, or do you check yourself because you know you're doing the right thing?
Yeah, I check myself too. But when he cries when I leave,
Mm,
that's hard. I mean, you try.
mm,
You like I said, you figure it out as you go with like being a
yes,
working mom, and it's yeah. They're not gonna be happy every time, and you're not gonna be happy every time, and you have to make peace with that.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. I want to shift gears and talk about March of Dimes.
Mhm.
They have a 90-year legacy, and their ongoing work to improve maternal and infant health is more important than ever. And our nation is in the midst of a maternal and infant health crisis.
Mhm.
Um, the rates of preterm birth are increasing. The US is one of the most dangerous places to give birth in the developed world. And there are unacceptable disparities in birth outcomes between women and infants of color and their white peers. And I
Mhm.
want to go through some statistics to share with you and all those listening. So each year, about 700 women die from complications related to pregnancy. And for every maternal death, another 70 women suffer life threatening health challenges. And that's over 50,000 women a year. Every 12 hours, a woman dies due to pregnancy related complications. And Black women are 27% more likely to
Mhm.
experience severe pregnancy complications. And the rates of death of those who are over the age of 30 are 4 to 5 times greater than white women.
Mhm.
So these statistics are heartbreaking,
Yes.
and you've been involved with March of Dimes for many years, and we're in the midst of this, a mother of a movement to fundraise, educate, advocate for moms, especially to speak up for themselves. So, what are some of the initiatives that are close to your heart when it comes to March of Dimes?
Oh my goodness. This one right now specifically being a big one.
Yeah.
I think for me, because I think about a specific story that someone actually told me. It was someone that I'm not exactly close to, but it's still too close. Where there was a mom who went in and she knew something was wrong, and the doctors and nurse actually ignored her, and she ended up passing. And what was left, of course, is her husband and her baby on this earth without her. Now, what I know of this person is that their spirit was incredible. They were so excited to become a mother. So to have this exciting moment of your life and then your life is taken away from you is not fair. And I know for Black women, it's usually, oh, well, they're strong enough, or they're just crying about, why are they crying about it? Well, no question should be overlooked. If there's anything that a new mother is feeling, it should not go astray. The thought, the feeling, the question, anything about it should never go astray. It should not go unnoticed or not untreated. It's wrong. I'm just gonna call a spade a spade. It's wrong. And I think that when that happens, who's the one responsible? No one ever wants to point the blame or say who's responsible for it. But the truth is the truth. And it's like, that part of it is just heartbreaking. So I say, pay attention to every single last one of your patients, every mother. She's a new mother. It doesn't matter if you think the question is the most ridiculous question. And it would be ridiculous if you thought the question was ridiculous, because it's just one seeking knowledge. That's it.
Right.
So if you're asking questions, have people around this ward specifically who care about every single detail there is about being with these mothers. You know what I mean? And making them feel comfortable to this new space that they already have to figure out on their own.
Exactly.
But I say just lead with love. And that's what March of Dimes does. They lead with love every single time. It's always about the mother. It's always about the care of the mother. It's always about the best of the baby. And that's literally all you care about. Yeah. And I feel like people should take notice to March of Dimes and the way they do it, the way they care. It's at a different space, and it's very human. It's so human. Yes. And that's what I love the most about March of Dimes.
Absolutely. And it's something that we all have to be involved in and give back to, especially as fellow moms. Yes. And you mentioned this before, but it takes having this rock solid support system. Mm-hmm. And those in your corner. So who's in your mom tribe?
My mom tribe is my Mama T, my BB, BB, Cece, all my girlfriends really. We swap stories, like all of my girlfriends. We figure it out. If there's something I feel like I'm not quite grasping, I always call and ask about it, especially like when I have a girlfriend who has 2 boys exactly. But hers are 3 years apart. They're 3 years apart. Sorry, 4 years apart. So I call her a lot. Yes, because I'm like, this is strange. He just tripped his brother. Is he supposed to hit him in the face? What do I do? I don't want to tell him to leave him alone for the 5th time. Like, it's just, you know what I mean? You're just figuring it out. But your tribe is everything.
Oh, yes.
They're everything. I'm so grateful.
Yes. I feel like we, have WhatsApp threads that we're just messaging, is this okay? Is this okay? And I feel like, especially when you're a first time mom, you're so impressionable, and it's your mom friends that are like, you need this, you don't need this, don't waste on this,
Yes.
And they just give it to you straight, and you feel like, thank you. Like I'm not going into this all alone,
Yes.
You have people who have your back. It just makes a world of a difference.
And I have friends who are like, well, yeah, I mean, I didn't do this, but you can try. And
Right.
they know good and well I'm gonna call them back in about a month and be like, why did you tell me to do that? Like you were supposed to have no. She's like, some things I just let you do because you have to experience that. That's just a part of it. I was like, you're my one.
It's so true. It's so true.
Yeah.
And that brings me to mom sense. It's just this term that I've coined that I feel like we all have this built-in sixth sense. We have our intuition, and it's our superpower. And dads have their dad sense. Grandma has grandma sense. It's everybody has it. But for moms in this case, it's so attuned. So tell us an occasion where you trusted that mom sense of yours, and it just steered you on the right path.
A month ago.
Okay.
And I think it's mom sense, but it's also your ancestors helping you along the way. Because I felt like this was my mom. It was 2 or 3 something in the morning, and I caught a chill, and it was all I heard was Noah. And I got up and I was like, it's cold. And then I'm walking, and it's like I picked up the pace. I don't usually, it's picked up the pace. I got in Noah's room, it was freezing. And I was like, oh my God. And of course we covered him with the little, full onesies. It was fleece, but his little nose was so cold. And so the way the air is in the house is just so weird, because where we were and where he is, it's like a little bit cooler down that way. So I was like, okay, cool. Switched the air, of course, made it warmer, and he was fine. But I was like, thanks, Mama. And I went right back to sleep.
I mean, you have such an angelic voice. We all know that, grew up with it. Is there anything that you find special to sing to your babies?
Noah calms down when I sing, surprisingly, because he is on 10 all the time. If he's hollering, that's the only time I can get him to just kind of woosah. Titan was not like that. Noah just smiles and he just looks at me, and then he wants to pull my face forward, which I love. So, I sing. What do I sing to him? Anything. The wheels on the bus go round and round to the Itsy Bitsy Spider. He loves all the little fun, songs. So I just sing those to him, and he's content.
I love that. But he's so lucky to hear it sung, so beautifully.
You're very sweet. Thank you.
Like, we have parents tone deaf, whatever. It's not going to be.
By the way, if they sing Bruno one more time, though.
Oh my gosh, yes. It's all day Encanto in this house too.
Yes, this house is all about Encanto. As soon as he hears the the family, mother God, like he goes nuts, and he's just there like this. That's a good time that you can catch Noah sitting still, because any other time you didn't see, but he's just literally running around in the backyard right now, just back and forth. And trying to keep up with him is hard. He is moving.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Kelly, what are you most excited about this year?
This year, I'm beyond excited about releasing my first children's book. I actually did it with another fellow mom. Our kids met at school, and they literally became like freaking frat. They both love basketball. Chase is his name, and her name, of course, is Jessica McKay. And so she started, we actually started like swapping different mom stories of just being away from home and having kids and what that was like. And she said she had an idea for a children's book. I was like, well, let's do it together. So it's exactly what we did. And just the process of making it, and having Fannie Lim as the illustrator, just all of it was incredible. And I just feel like it's a story that a lot of moms will be able to relate to. It's also like the first book, children's book, where you actually see an adult on a page, like by themselves, you know, because the story is about, of course, between a mother and a son. So we experience all these emotions, and I think that as far as working moms are concerned, and everybody thinks that the kid is the only one experiencing emotions, and the parents do too. We miss our kids when we're at work. We miss our kids when we're traveling, and the dynamic is just really a real one, you know. And we had a wonderful time, and I'm so excited about it. Always with you, always with me is what it's called, and I'm delighted, like beyond delighted right now.
Oh, we're so excited for you. That's on all of our gift list for Mother's Day is always with you, always with me. That's just so, so sweet. Thank you, Kelly. This was really, really just an amazing chat. I feel like we have so much to learn from you and to celebrate with you. And you're always with us too, and we're with you too.
Thank you. Well, I'm just grateful that as a community, it was really dope speaking to you, because I learned a lot too. And I think that as mothers, we have to always make sure our space is always like this with each other, like it's open to each other, so that we fall into it. We are open to, you know, to our mistakes, open to our greatness, open to other, you know, women, and, you know, imparting their wisdom. I think you have to always stay open. So thank you for your insight and your wisdom as well, and sharing your story as well. And to all of you who are watching this, thank you so much.